the point of the subconscious as well is to keep challenging itself by listening, because the moment you think you know something, your spirit is going to come in and challenge that. So this is why it's so important to just know that you are the spirit, know that you are no thing, so that anytime you come in and challenge yourself, you rise to the challenge. You rise to the challenge. You're not attached to whatever you're challenging yourself in. So you actually ascend into your nothingness, and you are able to manifest your imagination into the reality that you're in at a faster rate. That's fasting. Level up. Always Ascending Academy, baby. So, Tahuti, Thoth, here I am with the pyramids, building, getting the structures out, because that's what Earth is about. Making sure that everything is connecting and actually practical so spirits can stand on it, right? That's the difference between Leo and Taurus. Leo has the intention, Leo has the imagination, the initial idea, like whoosh. So we're all like first Leos as spirits. The moment we express our imaginations, that's fixed fire. So we are all truly fixed in our imaginations. We're all Leo. But then as far as actually being able to stand in our imagination, we then have to become Taurus. So we have to not be fixed fire, but we have to go through water and air to become fixed earth. And that's the simulation. So this is why I, as symmetry, am a Taurus sun, Virgo moon, Gemini sun, or Gemini ascendant. Taurus sun, Virgo moon, Gemini ascendant means that my body, as the Taurus sun, is how I anchor, or how I build literally a simulation. So how I create earth to stabilize my water. My moon, being my soul, being my Virgo, is where I'm creating the simulation from. So even though I look like a Taurus to you, I look like a body, right? I look like earth. I feel like water. I feel like a soul, right? So to you, I look like a body. To me, I feel like a soul. So you can never know or see what I'm feeling. This is the difference of earth and water. That's the point of us connecting our feelings together, and why your feelings are always supposed to be invisible, and your thought is the body, the hyper-specific feeling of, okay, I feel like connecting with the universe in general, so that now I can like be able to anchor and bring all my feelings into reality. And that's literally the whole point of thoughts versus emotions, earth versus water. So your body only matters because of your soul, right? Your earth only matters because of your water. Your thoughts only matter because of your emotions. It doesn't matter what religion or what book I come to you with. If you don't feel like connecting with the religion or system that I'm giving you, then you're not really going to create the circumstances where you can. So like, here I am as a spirit, right? I'm forced to go through the slavery inside of this simulation. I'm forced to go through sitting in school and learning that my ancestors deserve to be raped and murdered by the people who were eating them, because we were actually the savages, and we actually didn't build anything here, even though they're stealing everything from us to say that we didn't build anything here. And that all, messed up my body. I related with people, wasted my time, I feel like, objectively looking back. But the point was this. The point was for me to go through the vibe. So that's always going to be the point then. As a spirit, if you find yourself in a body and you're connected to circumstances you can't control, that's literally you being connected to the universe. And you are now learning about yourself based on how you are inserting your ego into this water, into this 8, inserting your 1 into the 8. So now you get to learn who you truly are. This is the point of why spirits make bodies and connect with others, and why we create the universe so we can connect with others. This is the only way to learn who we truly are, by hanging out and interacting with others. Otherwise, we're in our imaginations, and it's like, I'm not going to say lost, but I'm just going to say there's nothing real there, in my opinion. Like, and that's the point, like, there's nothing real in your imagination. The nothingness is real. In your imagination, your spirit is real, right? So your imagination is an expression of your spirit, but that's it. Like, it's not practical. There's nothing there. There's literally only space there. There's nothing there. So it takes you as the spirit projecting that imagination to connect with it and create your water. And once you do that, you can now take said imagination, ignite it into your water, into your feeling, take your ego into your soul and animate it. And now you're building the mind. Now you're building this air that is communicating your imagination first internally and then externally. And depending on how consistently you're communicating and what your feeling is communicating your imagination from the internal to the external, you then build a body. So this is why we're building bodies all the time, forever, just constantly. Our bodies are transforming through that process. It's amazing how simple it is when I say it, right? It's simply symmetry, baby. It's simply symmetry. You are the synchronicity. Do you see why? Symmetry starts with CY. The letter C is about air. You're breathing. Everything you can see exists inside of air. So, boom. And then Y is you knowing that you are trapped in a vibe because you sacrifice your individuality to connect to the universe, as we've covered in Dissect the Dialect. So literally, see why. Anytime you're looking at anything, you see why you're here. And the answer, if you ask Tahuti, or Hermes, or Chase, or Ningish Zeta, or Zoroaster, or Idris, or Chikatet, or Hermanubis, or any of my many other names, many bodies. If you just ask the God of Wisdom, Mercury, he's going to tell you the point is that you get to learn and transform how you communicate to bring heaven to earth more consciously. And that's the point of you looking at anything. Do you see why you're here? See why you're in a vibe? To communicate with other spirits. Boom. And of course, that Y leads to Z. It's about then sleeping with other spirits, because that's what the universe is. That's why all of our bodies sleep. We're all sleeping together on Earth. Like, it's not about sex, but also it is esoterically, because we're all having sex inside of ourselves to create the planet that allows us to sleep together in all these separate bodies. So we're all subconsciously connected. It's so beautiful. It's so awesome. It's super cool. But of course, we have to be separate in that because we're all separate spirits. So we're creating one space so that we can express our individuality. It's that simple. All right. So again, tapping into the root of the symmetry. I'm making this as simple as possible. Because then when all the complexities come out, we just always know how. Like, how did spirits make this happen? Like, oh, okay, got it. Like, what words are you using? Okay, got it. Because it's about us, actually getting these words proper. Because that's the point. Like, I'm here in this vibe with you. This is the only way I can communicate to you as Hermes, as Tahuti. So, Tahuti, being the earth, thought it's all about being practical and being able to connect in a way that actually builds structures for other spirits to connect. Boom. And then Hermes is my Gemini self. So Thoth, Virgo, Hermes, the Gemini energy, where that's all about communication. So your structure is communicating and like spreading air throughout the whole universe. That's like every pyramid, anything I build. The moment I build something, it's spreading air throughout the universe. That's what trees do, literally, right? Like, if us as humans, we cannot breathe on this earth if we did not have plants actually creating the atmosphere. So there we go, science. Again, all this spirituality only going to be reflected in science. All right, it's pretty awesome. It is pretty awesome. Physical reality is truly just what we are building to stabilize our spirituality. It's nothing else. It's nothing else. That's why the caduceus is your spine, and boo the medical industry for colonizing it from me so hard and using it to destroy the planet and destroy all of our spines. Because I know my spine is really messed up from sitting in school all day, every day. And then it got even worse from braces. So that's the point of Decolonize Your Face. If you're not in Decolonize Your Face, hop in there. All right. It is my course where I'm sharing with you all the exercises that I'm using to permanently straighten my teeth. Like, I've been doing this to straighten my teeth, increase the space in my face. I've been healing all of my internal body issues and realizing just how important the spine is. This is my organic journey as Chase, to really practically show you, like, yeah, like, I mean, here's just proof I'm Hermes. I'm the one with this awareness. You feel me? Like, how come I'm the one who has to be the spirit that when I make the body in here, I'm the only one who can communicate in this way? Like, it's truly an awareness thing and a vibration thing. And then it's like a mission thing at that point, where it's basically intentional, hermetically, that I'm going through my life like this. So that's the, of course, difference between intention and thoughtful. Because you, as the body of your spirit, are thinking after the intention has already been set in motion. So this is why intention is fire and thoughts are earth. We hadn't even gotten into the magic square yet. This is supposed to be shorter, but I'm vibing. So, but honestly, no, that's perfect. Let's get into it. You as a spirit, when you're stabilizing your space, that's what the square is about. The square is about stabilization, right? So this is why everything's a box. You know, when we just look at Earth, it's like, okay, boxes, 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 boxes. It's a number 4. It's about the 4 points. And then this is why a circle is, if we were to give any shape to the spirit, any shape to air, any shape to the mind, it would be a circle. And air is carrying water. So then this is where air and water are connected, because water is chaotic and thus expresses itself as a circle when it carries any kind of intention, because it is going to be polarized in that intention, making it 3. So water being 2 is not a circle, but when it gets expressed, it is a circle. So this is why everything, like when you're breathing, you are breathing water. When you're drinking air type deal. Like, it is all water, but we're just talking about how light moves. So the reason that esoterically, spiritually, our consciousness, we are inclined in this language to call water water, is because it's a reflection of our dense vibration. So you as a spirit, when you're alone in your space, you first make an idea, you first make an imagination. So you have this intention, and this intent is your tent, your teepee. So we know in synchronicity, nothing is a coincidence. Your spirit is the coincidence, the coincidence, the coin that everything is changing inside of. So you as a spirit are always making money off of your coincidence, your coincidence, whatever, your coins. Your coins are inside of you. Hence, what are you going to do? Right? So your coins, your change, it's all happening inside of your spirit. What are you going to do about that? Hence, coin inside hence. Man, no coincidences. It really takes me doing this, I guess. That's just hilarious. And the whole point is that I'm igniting your imagination by connecting all this. So this is how I've always built. I mean, any civilization, you Google me, just straight up Google me. This is how I build civilizations. This is how we build structures. So this is literally us doing magic square stuff right now, because we're always playing out what I'm about to explain here in terms of how spirits stabilize their space by correlating their elements into a magic square and how that reflects in numbers. So you as a spirit, you have a 0. So you are not the 0. And I really want to make that insanely clear. you as the spirit are not your space, but like the spirit is space. So like you as a spirit are your space, but you are not, let me say that you're not your circumstances and you are not your circumference, although you naturally have that. So you as space are literally boundless. Like there is no actual container for you as a spirit. None. Like you are infinite space. And the moment that you create an imagination, that has to come from and go into a zero. I've never put it like this either. I like this. So you as the space, as a spirit, you are not zero. But the moment you imagine anything, that is literally the one. So, and that one had to come out of a feeling. So that means that the one had to come out of a zero. So you as a spirit use your first feeling, which is your circumstances. So it's like, wow, I've never said it like this. That's, we're just going to keep vibing. Let me hit this, bro. I like that a lot. Your first feeling, if it's anything, it's not happiness, it's not hatred, it's not joy, it's not anger, it's not lust, it's not envy, it's not jealousy, it's not gluttony, it's not excitedness, it's circumstance. Literally. So, your imagination as a spirit, as a nothingness, is being created from your feeling about your circumstances. How do you feel about your space? And that in and of itself is infinite. Right? Like there's no way you could possibly limit how you feel about your space. There's no way until you do. But then that's the point, because once you limit it, your spirit is always going to come in and show you that you're unlimited if you get attached to that limit too much. So you as a spirit, as space, are infinite. And the moment you have a feeling about expressing your circumstances, this is why all of us as spirits are separate. We all have completely separate circumstances because we all feel differently about expressing our imagination. And that leads to us creating the universe totally differently. Because we're building life together all the time. So it literally takes us building the universe by expressing our I, or expressing our one in this way. Your one is your individuality. So one is fire. So, and that's hilarious because here we are with these fire sirens, where these entities, their vision, their idea of progress is to rape and ravish indigenous people so that they can spread railroads and cars, all this R energy, throughout realms and realities that are not theirs, just so that they can build structures that they can't even maintain properly, all through slave labor. And of course, and this is vibrational, a little more vibrational wisdom right here. When you build structures with slavery, they're doomed to fail. So this is why Jews are going to project onto the pyramids like, oh, the Egyptians, they used Jews to build these pyramids. But it's literally like the ultimate lie projection of how Jews use indigenous peoples to build their structures. And they wish they could build structures like the pyramids, but they're not vibrationally there. That's why they have to colonize my caduceus, colonize my emerald tablets, steal everything from our families as indigenous spirits, because they have to work from the bottom up. Whereas, as I've said, I build pyramids from the top down. Naturally. This is what we're doing on an alchemized level. This is what the magic square is. Nothing into fire, into water, into air, into earth. So, when you as a spirit have a feeling about your circumstance, That's you expressing your individuality. And that first feeling is the light. So that's always going straight out. So this is why if you live only in your individuality, no one can see you and you're just going far out there. Like you're just going way out there. You feel me? Like you just all the way out. Like you're just way out. Like no one can see you. Literally, you're just straight line out, gone. Right? So that doesn't make much sense. So this is why the imagination doesn't make sense, but it wants to make sense. So then we get the rest of the elements. The coin inside, hence, right? Because the coin is literally making money, which is metal. So metal is earth being transformed by fire, of course. I'm saying of course, but yeah, of course, right? Metal is earth being transformed by fire. And that esoterically, what that represents, anytime we see earth being transformed by fire, it shows that spirits desire to bring their imagination, to bring their intentions into a certain structure, right? So this is why we have computers, phones, TVs, cars, right? There's earth, there's a collective structure, but then spirits bring their fire and they use their intention to transform it into a structure that serves their own imagination. And by doing that, now we can express more of our individuality, right? Like first I had a rock. The rock, is not expressing my individuality at all. I want to use this rock to talk to my best friend. So let me alchemize it into a phone. And now, boom, I just turned the earth into metal with my fire. Because now we have chemistry and all this industrial revolution obsession of using polluting heavy metals to get the job done. Make everyone connect with us so we can build money off of limiting their minds. Because this planet is so abundant and we're not. Man. So when you're alone in your space and you have a feeling about your co-inside, hence you have a feeling about your circumstances, you're only ever going to be able to express that. And by expressing that, you are changing your circumstances anyway. That's the coin, the change. So when your imagination, you're just expressing your individuality, it's going far out there. It can't go anywhere but out into space. So this is why your imagination is literally the expression of your spirit. Your spirit is nothing. When your spirit has certain feelings about its circumstances, and it just feels something about its circumstance in general, it creates an imagination to express what that circumstance is, which is literally the first fire. So whatever that circumstance is your imagination, like the initial imagination, or else it's nothing, right? So this is why the first feeling is circumstance. In terms of, like, how do you feel about being nothing? You want to be something. Now you create imagination, but that had to come from your circumstance. And then that shows you what your circumstances are based on then how you connect with it. And that is you bringing feeling into your imagination that you are projecting outward. So in the magic square, this is you as a spirit, as nothingness, going from fire, going from an intention into a feeling. So you may, here's a great example. You may intend to kill yourself, right? You may be like, okay, I intend to kill myself when I wake up tomorrow. And then you wake up tomorrow and you have the intention. But guess what? If your feeling isn't there, if your feeling is not a high enough vibration, because your feeling is water, if you feel scared to do that, you're not going to do it. So this is where you as a spirit, on an internal level, internally, you are learning about yourself. I have not drunk any liquids this whole time. No. As an individual spirit, you are learning about yourself based on how you connect with your own imagination. So this is why life is three, and everything that you can see is me, aka we are all the chi. You are the chi of yourself. So when you think of me, like think of the we, and like those me's on the Wii, you make a me of yourself. It's all about children being naturally narcissistic, basically, because life is all about you, just straight up. Like life is actually though all about you, because what you are doing as a spirit is observing how you connect with your imagination, which is what makes you the mind. So this is why everything is air, and I'm here to share and educate this, educate this, share and educate spirits in this way, because this is how I've always been, and this is what I do. This is just who I am. Because this is the whole point of Hermeticism and bringing consciousness to life, and how everything is magical, everything is alchemy. It's just about how aware are you that you are alchemizing your nothing into something so that you can connect with others. Because that's what it truly is all about. Like, that's why you wouldn't kill yourself when you wake up that morning, right? Like you have the intention, right? You're like, I want to leave, and that's spiritually powerful. Like, okay, fine, leave. But your body though, you have a feeling. You're like, And so this is where you as a spirit, your water puts out fire, right? This is why we see that nothing in nature is actually fire-based. Nothing in nature is fire-based. Everything in nature is going to be water-based. Trust. Everything in nature is going to be based on feeling. Everything in nature is going to be based on connections of that. Because the fact is, all of us as spirits, when we are expressing our individuality alone, the only thing that could possibly connect us, as individuals is our desire to connect with other individuals. And that in and of itself is going to be the K that always kills our ego. That K being 11, like that, it's always going to be the universal water that puts out our fire, and then we go, and now we're snakes. No coincidence, right? So that's why snakes come out of the water, and then it's important to wrap your snakes around your own space to stabilize your own spine, and now you can take flight through the caduceus with your mind. Wow, I've never realized it like that, but that's literally it. So you have your own fire, your flame cannot be tamed. It's just that when you kill your ego with your water, with your feeling of connecting to something outside of yourself, that is what the universe is. And that's what allows you to create a mind, is to quote unquote kill your ego and to put your water on top of your fire. So now you transform your fire into steam, steamy chi, a chi air Merkaba that now you as a guide can sit in to fly outside of your space and experience yourself. So this is how on an internal level we are creating life. That's you literally as a spirit having your own space, constantly putting water on top of your imagination. So you're constantly putting your imagination out, right? Like you're just killing your ego, killing your individuality all day, every day, over and over, so that you can turn it into something actually communicatable. That's what I'm doing with this English language right now. I have an intention, and it's happening like so fast, right? It's happening so fast because that's like the point. I have this intention, I have this fire of what I want to say, what I want to express, but then it takes my subconscious mind dampening it and going over it so that now the fire turns into air. And now I'm being a snake. Now I'm being a serpent with my serpentine tongue, and I'm able to slither my way into your awareness by speaking. Right? So this is what air is. So we are all aware. Air. We are all aware of each other because we are all breathing the same air. We are all serpents slithering together in one garden called the universe, underwater, in one worldwide web, the W. You are separate from all other U's, so you connect to one W, and all of us as individual U's are literally only connected, actually, by the W, by the universe. Now, this is why it's important to know that you have your own universe. So symmetry, the wisdom I'm here sharing with you is how spirits build their own soul. So when we're in a simulation like this, where it's so overtaken by white supremacy that needs you to power their creations, that they'll steal mine and then say that we're not creative while not having anything of their own, then nothing is like, no one's going to be speaking like me like this, because I'm letting you know how you actually create your own universe first before you decide that you want to share it with others. Thus, life is one reflection of you. So, magic squares. Because right now, this isn't really even much about magic squares. It's funny. This is actually way more like actually just esoteric. I'm talking about how spirits build the universe so that they can connect. But making that practical, the point is, when you feel like connecting with others, that's like not tangible, right? There's nothing actually to touch or stabilize there. So, you as a spirit, when you express your imagination, your individual one, that must bend in. So then that's why really you're the zero, you're the circumstance. That one becomes a zero, and then that's you being able to be two. Like, so it's by you observing your imagination, you then connect with it. And that is creating water. And water is infinitely chaotic because it is all possibilities between something and nothing. So this is why the universe is like the infinite manifester in that way. In terms of the universe is constantly reacting to you. It's the body of water that connects all nothings and all somethings. So no matter how much you're lost in something versus you just feeling like nothing, the fact is water / the universe, your feeling of being connected to something else or to nothing else, to any other space, to any conscious outside of yourself, is going to connect you to everything in that way. So it's just about your awareness of that, of knowing that everything exists inside of space. So when we as spirits feel like connecting with each other, we create the circumstances where we're all sharing space, because that's the only way that we can then build bodies that can observe each other. And now all of our bodies, being in the same space, can look at each other and be like, whoa, hello there. And now we can speak. And of course, we can only speak to each other if we were in even more localized spaces like planets, and then continents, and then countries and cities, and then counties, and then schools, and learning the same language that allows us to build reality in the way that we are right now.